Hey, it's Sam, just making a quick video about the upcoming week. We have a lot of shifts ahead. Of course, we just had a big solar eclipse in Virgo, really shifting things around for us in the midst of other big shifts. But this week in particular, we have the moon going through a very sensitive part of the zodiac, especially relative to spiritual transformation, and that's what I'm going to talk about mostly today. So before I do, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. So this is a chart of the moment right now, starting Monday, September 29th. You can see the moon is over here in Sagittarius, aspected by Jupiter. This is what I'm mostly going to be talking about today. This section of the zodiac where we have Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. These are the signs that are ruled only by Jupiter and Saturn, the two, quote, outer planets in Vedic astrology, the ones that are the slowest moving. Jupiter takes an entire year to go through a sign. Saturn takes about 3 years, 2.5 years. And these are the last four zodiac signs, starting with Jupiter, then we have the two Saturn signs, and then the final Jupiter sign, Pisces. So we can really see this section of the zodiac, where this is the section of the zodiac where the soul is becoming liberated. The first section of the zodiac from signs Aries through Cancer is where we're being born. We're literally born in Aries. The symbol is basically an infant, right? It's ruled by Mars. It's kind of like the screaming baby comes out bloody, rah, trying, who am I, right? This whole section of the zodiac from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, very much related to, who am I? What is my identity, right? Then the second section of the zodiac from Leo to Scorpio is, okay, now that I know who I am, what's my life in this world all about? Where we try to build something of the world. These are the stable, solid signs. The fixed signs, Leo and Scorpio, are two fixed signs where we're trying to live a life on Earth and also really connect it to other people, right? This first section of the zodiac, Aries to Cancer, this is me trying to find myself. From Leo to Scorpio, this is me trying to build a kingdom in the world with other people. That includes, again, my partner, my family, my business, my legacy. That's this section of the zodiac from Leo to Scorpio. And then the last section of the zodiac, again, especially if we're highly evolved or even a little evolved, we're trying to then transcend the world, and where we realize that we're not just this person in this world, we're a spiritual, transcendent being. And that's the signs of Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. This is where the moon is moving this week. So after this middle section where we try to build a kingdom in Leo, we try to organize that kingdom in Virgo, we want to share that kingdom with others in Libra, then we realize, my God, what have I done in Scorpio? And say, okay, I thought this was my reason for living, was to live a happy worldly life with other people and kids and a legacy. But now I realize something isn't complete. I thought this would make me feel complete, but it doesn't. And in Scorpio, we become aware and we become anxious about that. But it doesn't end there. So we then start to seek an answer, a solution. Well, what does all this mean? A higher philosophy. That's Jupiter ruling Sagittarius. First, we want to have the philosophy. This is why the first nakshatra in Sagittarius is Mula, where we pull out by the roots that fear and stress that arises in Scorpio once we realize that this world is not all there is, and our kingdom of this world is very limited. It's going to end. It makes us fearful, paranoid, worried, and by the way, we can then take that and blame everybody else for it, project it onto others, try to control other people in the world in Scorpio in a negative sense. Or, by the way, we can take that same energy of Scorpio and turn inward and become very devoted to transcending this painful reality. And then that leads us to, again, Sagittarius. In a very mundane way, Sagittarius is just our beliefs, which can be a kind of religious belief, whether it's Christianity or Hinduism, or, again, on that level, it's fine. And it really helps our life, gives our life a meaning and purpose. But there's a deeper promise behind just a religious belief, because we might not explore anything. We might just believe that and then go along and not try to change and transform and elevate that into higher consciousness, higher awareness, where our beliefs aren't just some idea that we have that we like, but it's actually something that elevates and connects us with our soul's purpose. And right now you see Jupiter is actually aspecting Sagittarius. So when the moon goes through Sagittarius now, or other planets go through Sagittarius, Jupiter, the ruler, is aspecting from Gemini, where we question our dogma. And again, in a mundane sense, Sagittarius can just be dogma. And again, there's nothing wrong with religious dogma and just believing things, as far as it still helps our life, because at least it gives us an answer. But we might just be then dogmatic and judgmental and overly philosophical and even sort of fanatical about our religion. And that can make us not very inclusive of other people's religions, look down upon other people's beliefs because mine is the right one. We all know how much hypocrisy there can be in religion if it's not properly checked. So again, the higher promise is to question the dogmatism and get into the practice. By the way, this is why Vedic Indian teachings are so powerful, because they're not just about belief, they're about practice. For example, yoga isn't a religion, it's a practice. Eastern religions aren't just beliefs. They're not just believe in, Krishna or Shiva. Do these practices. And by the way, there's a lot of Christianity also that has practices that we, can do and whatnot. But Western religions, especially Christianity and Islam, have been stripped away of most of their yoga and breath and meditation. The difference between the Western and Eastern religions is the meditations and the practices are still the most important part of it, right? And the difference also is that in Eastern religions, it's not that we worship God, we are God, that God is folded into everything. And even the word God is not a very good way to explain it. It's actually we are Atman, which means the imperishable self, that is the same self in everything. And the word Atman is also this seed word for even the word atom, like atomic energy. We are basically that energy at the heart of all existence, right? And so this is the Eastern sense. It's much more metaphysical because it's not about worship, an external God. It's the external God. By the way, this was also the essence of Christianity and Islam and whatnot, but it's been stripped out. But the essence was you are the Atman. You are that spirit. And these figures were actually teachers and gurus who came to teach a way to access it. And the point wasn't to worship them. And they never said the point was to worship them. The point was to do what they did, which is what a guru does. They teach you how to become all that's possible for you. So in Western religions, again, that part has been kind of stripped out a little bit. In Eastern, it hasn't. It's still very much the point. So Eastern religions and gurus are also very inclusive of Western. Every yoga ashram I ever went to, they celebrate Christmas and everything else. Even they have, Jesus on the altar and all that stuff, because all of the figures are still referring back to the point, which is you are the Atman, right? And, like my guru Amma, she bows down in front of everyone every time she speaks. She gets on the floor and prostrates in front of everyone there and says, Amma bows down to everyone here who are the embodiments of pure love and the supreme consciousness. She says that every time she ever talks in front of us. And then she gets up and hugs 10,000 people without going to the bathroom for 15 hours. And you can't believe you're seeing this. So a great guru and great teacher doesn't want you to worship them. They want you to see the example and do the things they say. They want to awaken your divinity, right? And they present themselves as an example of your potential, right? So this is in the East. I'm sure in the West, and by the way, if you are a Muslim or a Christian or whatever, you can take the same lessons. And again, there are many Muslims and Christians or whatever who also practice yoga, meditation, and also follow gurus like my guru and other teachers, because again, like my guru Amma says, my religion is love. And for you, if your religion is love too, but it's the form of Jesus, then fine. there is no struggle in the East. It's a little different in the West, right? So keep these things in mind, and I'm talking about it because this is the first part of this process, is the dogmatism, which a lot of us get stuck in the dogmatism, even those who find themselves involved with these great gurus. It winds up being a kind of worship, not a sadhana, not a practice, right? The gurus don't say worship me. They say, basically, do what I know will help you grow and evolve. And then as devotees, people don't do it. They just keep worshiping the guru. So evolving that is the first part of the process. But then as it moves forward from just what we believe in and the elevation of the guru, Sagittarius then becomes Capricorn, where we have to do that practice. Again, take it seriously. Don't just worship me, or don't just worship. Do the practice. Embody the love of Jesus. Don't say I worship Jesus, and then as soon as someone makes me mad, I vent and get mad at them, or I worship, Amma or Krishna or Shiva, and then as soon as I get my feelings hurt, I lash out and blame them, or whatever it might be. They're an embodiment of teachings. We have to practice the teachings. And that's the hard part. This is the Capricorn part, because it means we have to introspect and reflect. It's the introspective quality of Saturn, where we have to face those harsh realities that scare us. It's easy to just be all inspired in Sagittarius. Oh, now I have this teaching, this guru, this religion, yay! And now I'm not going to, but now I have to practice it, which means I have to embody the teachings of Krishna or Amma or Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha. That's much harder, and because it means we have to look at ourselves and take on that seriousness through silence, introspection, solitude. That's much harder. We have to go inward, not just outward towards something that we believe in. It's easy to believe in something, and we all believe in something. So that silence, stillness, introspection is how Sagittarius becomes Capricorn. And then Capricorn becomes Aquarius, because then we can share it with others. Not just share it with others, but once we realize that these teachings are, that the kingdom of God is within, which is basically what Capricorn does, is it takes those teachings, the external worship, and internalizes it. Just like I said, like my guru bows down to all of us, and we can be like, oh, isn't that nice? And it's all external. But when we internalize what she's saying, what she's showing us, it doesn't matter. She bows down to all beings, not just people. Dogs, animals, insects, doesn't matter. They're all permeated with the Atman, or supreme consciousness. Once we internalize that, then there's a bit of that, Saturn pressure to then embody it and make it simple, not so complicated. But then again, once we do that, then we just want to be of service. We want to spread and share that. And we realize that it's not just about me and how I feel and my personal happiness and identity. That's what Aquarius is. It's the universal identity as a person, where it's not just me as a person, it's the collective. I'm one person amongst many, and there's going to be time after me. And we can make peace with that. Before we do that, it's very hard for us to think of life where we don't exist. I mean, think of life without you in it. Your ego really can't grasp it. The only thing you can grasp is that you're alive in this world. But your identity in this lifetime is going to end at some point, and the world will go on fine without you. I mean, there will be people that remember you who love you, but then they'll go, and before you know it, nobody knew you existed. And it doesn't matter, because that's not you. You are not this personality. You are the Atman underneath it all. I was looking for, and I don't see it here, I have a little bracelet. Think of a bracelet that has all these beads. The beads are on the outside, but on the inside there's a thread that you don't see that links them all together. So think of all the people in this world as and all of the parts of your consciousness as beads along that bracelet. And the silent thread that joins it all is Atman and consciousness and God, your true nature, as that spirit, that energy, that power, like that atomic spirit. So again, this is a powerful Aquarius lesson because again, it means that we're not just even part of this world where we're going to try to save the world. We have a separate identity that's actually linked to every other identity through this invisible force. And then the final sign in this chain is Pisces, where we need to let go of it all. We need to let go of that obsession with the world, even the world as part of that collective identity, like, right, it's not me, I'm part of the world, and the world, we all need to live in the happy world, and we're so attached to life in the world. So Pisces is that last sign ruled by Jupiter, where we now have made peace with the fact that we're not just this separate being, and we're not this collective being. One day we surrender it all and we have to let go of it all. And that's the final sign ruled by Jupiter, which is Pisces. So these 4 signs are where the soul gets liberated, and there's a evolutionary path through each nakshatra. There's an evolutionary path through each sign, which I just talked about. I have some great teachings on these things if you want to go deeper into them as well, and there'll be a link in the video where I also explain that. But aside from that, have a great week. Let me know what you think. Again, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, make a comment, and thanks a lot. For a limited time, I'm offering 10 hours of masterclasses, Yoga and Vedic Astrology, Quantum Vedic Astrology, and Spiritual Astrology Masterclass. These are 3 great courses that will really help you a lot. Now, in case you don't know who I am, I taught the AstroVed certification course, Dattatreya Shiva Baba, in 2010. Ravi Shankar published my book in 2018. I've been around for decades. I've been teaching these great classes, and if you go to VedicAstrologyEssentials.com, you can get this 90% off discount of these 3 great classes, more than 10 hours, guaranteed value. You can check this out. These 3 classes will give you all the necessary tools to begin to learn Vedic astrology. Please find me on YouTube at Sam Jeppy, Vedic Astrology Teacher. On there since 2007, thousands of hours of classes. Also on Facebook at Astrology Teacher, tons of articles updated regularly, and I'm on Instagram at Vedic Astrology 108, ongoing updates and interaction.